11 o'clock on the dot, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jessica, so I'm going to be leading you guys through this class tonight. We are going to make this a back flexibility focused class. So we are going to start off by warming up the shoulders and then warming up the hips and the back, and you're going to need a couple different tools for the class. So I highly recommend, well, we're going to need it, so you'll require it for this class, a yoga strap. And if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a scarf or a belt or even a dog's leash to just, anything to connect point A to point B. And then you are going to also need 2 yoga blocks. And if you don't have yoga blocks, you can use 2 big books. So if you don't have this stuff, go grab that right now. If you need to find some big books around your house, go ahead and do that. And also, for you guys that have not seen this before, if you have any wrist issues, I highly recommend getting this yoga wedge. This is really great to reduce the amount of pressure on your wrists and to reduce the amount or the degree of bending in your wrist whenever your hands are on the ground. So I just wanted to show you guys this. I do have a new video out, 5 yoga hacks, that does talk about this, but I just wanted to show you guys because I know that I have a lot of new students here, and I want you guys to have an option that is going to help your wrists. I know a lot of new students to yoga have wrist pain, and that's because our bodies are not used to putting pressure, this much pressure, our body weight, on our hands. So these things are great to have. To have. And they're also great too if you are in like a squatting position like this and your heels don't touch the ground. They're great to put underneath of your heels. So they're just a really nice all-around tool to have. So this is something that I just wanted to tell you guys about really quickly before class. So hopefully if you want to go grab your straps in your back and grab your blocks your back. We did this last week too, but this is just one of my favorite shoulder stretches, and I like to do this for every class. So we're going to start on our knees, and you're going to take this strap out pretty wide. Now the wider it is, the easier this movement. Your arms are going to stay straight the whole time. You're going to start here with the strap kind of touching your belly, bring it up and over, and we're just going to make big circles over the head, back and forth. Now if this is really, really easy, you can go ahead and make it your hands a little bit closer on the strap. So find what works for you. The closer the hands are, the more intense the movement. The further away, the easier it is. Don't cheat yourself and go like this. This isn't going to do anything. This is like jumping rope. So we need the traction, and we need to be able to bring our hands back to this spot right here that's kind of sticky and move through it. So the strap helps us just to kind of leverage our shoulder flexibility. As you're doing this, you don't want to stick your chest out as you're coming back here. You want to keep your back nice and neutral. Kind of pull your belly into your spine, tuck your tailbone under a little bit so you can get some neutrality in the spine. So I'm going to move my hands a little bit closer. I'm dealing with a shoulder issue right now, so I'm trying to be a little bit more gentle with my shoulder and not going too close. So just keep doing this. I like to do this quite a few times to warm up the shoulders before I do any type of yoga class, but especially back bending. So back bending, I typically don't do at night because back bending poses are very energizing, and I want you guys to be able to sleep at night. However, I am going to end the class with a lot of forward folds that are very cooling and very relaxing and calming. And one thing that I do want to say about back bends is that, so they can create a lot of emotion. A lot of emotion will arise when you are doing back bends. So our spine is a direct link, or the back side of our body actually is a direct link to our subconscious. And when we move our back, we are forcing ourselves into that subconscious realm that we kind of tuck away. So it is the back because we can't see it. We don't see our subconscious every day. So we don't have to face it. So when we are forcing ourselves to confront that subconscious, we can get very emotional. So things like, here's an example. If somebody is very tense, you guys keep doing this. If somebody is very tense, their shoulders are going to come up around their ears. Some of you know what I'm talking about. It's because we create tension in the neck. The brain starts to get overloaded, so it sends it right down the spine, and we scrunch up. If we're dealing with heartbreak, we round forward. We're protecting our heart. So our spine gets pushed this way. Our shoulders start to lock up. Hopefully you guys are still doing this shoulder exercise as I do this. And people who feel a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, kind of tuck their tailbone. They kind of walk like this because they don't want to be big. They don't want to take up a lot of space. You don't want people to see you. So you try to slink around. So all of this stuff hides in our subconscious, and it creates tension, and it creates our bodies to become locked up. So when we are doing any type of back bending, it's going to start to release all of those emotions. Go ahead and take your strap, and you can place it to the side. And then we are just going to come down into a tabletop position and roll through some cat-cows. If your knees are starting to get a little cranky by now, take something, place it underneath of your knee, or if you don't have anything, just fold your mat and kneel on the fold. Pull your belly button into your spine, nice tight back here, nice tight belly, and then we inhale. Keep that core engagement as you look up toward the ceiling and lift your tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, and move through this a few times at your own pace. Now, another aspect to our back bending, a lot of people get some back pain from back bending. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. We're going to come down onto a seat here into hero's pose. So in hero's pose, you can sit on a block or sit on some big books and just have your feet next to your hips. So if you don't need the block, you can remove the block and just sit with your hips inside of your heels. Your heels are going to be kind of nestled on the outsides of your hips. You can just sit right here. So we're not going to go full force here into our hero's pose because this is just the beginning of practice. So there's different parts of the spine. There's the upper back, the mid back, and the lower back. And when we bend back, the lower back usually, it bends very easily. So you can see right now when I'm bending back, I'm bending with my lower back. My upper back is not really bending. Now, it's harder for me to bend with my upper back. So when I bend with my upper back, I have to feel like I'm pulling my chest up. So as you're here, sitting in your hero's pose, I want you to just bend, just put your hands, actually do this, put your hands at your lower back and just bend back. Might not be able to go very far, but I just want you to kind of feel where you're bending. Now I want you to take your hands, hike them up underneath of your rib cage and lift up. So you're not bending your lower back at all, you're bending your upper back. This is where I want you to try to bend tonight. We can bend here very easily. I want you to bend up here. This is going to create more spinal flexibility. So that's where I want you guys to bend. So let's come out of our hero's pose, come back into our tabletop. And we're just going to take the right arm and slide it underneath the left side of the body. So we're going to come down onto the right shoulder, the right cheek, and we're going to twist. Take your left hand if you want, and you can bring it to your tailbone. So if you feel your left hip bone is higher than your right, I want you to just push down into your left knee and kind of press your hips over to the right a little bit. Maybe even take your knees a little bit wider. So I want your hips to remain completely level. So one's not higher than the other. So we're going to twist from the navel up. So now you can keep the left hand on the ground, or you can reach it up toward the sky, or you can drop it down behind your back towards your right thigh. And take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. One more like this, in through the nose, and out through the nose. Good, let's start to unwind from this pose. Left hand's gonna come down. Right arm is gonna come back to center, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So you're gonna take your left arm, slide it underneath of the right side of your body and drop down onto the right cheek and the right shoulder. And same thing here. I want you to level your hips. Now if you can't take this hand off the ground, the right hand off the ground, just leave it on the ground, that's fine. But I want you to start to push into your right knee to kind of push your hips over to the left a little bit. And this is just gonna level them out so that the right hip likes to lift up here. So we wanna just even them out and twist from the navel up. So same here, right hand can remain on the ground. It can come up toward the sky, or you can drop down behind your back, reaching it towards your left hip. Take a breath in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. One more time, in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's start to unwind, take the right hand back down and come back out of this pose. Good. Let's bring the big toes together, knees out wide, drop back into your child's pose. Now, if child's pose is really uncomfortable for you, take one of your blocks and place it underneath of your belly or underneath of your pelvis to lift you up a little bit. Arms can be out in front of you, or they can be down by your sides. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. So every time we are breathing in our yoga practice, I want you to breathe consciously in through the nose and out through the nose. And try to make the breath, try to make that sound through the throat. So can you guys hear that? It kind of sounds like almost a growl, but not quite. That's called ujjayi breath. That's called victorious breath. And that breath is a gauge to tell us when we are too far into a pose, and then we need to back out of it. It also warms the body from the inside out, creating more metabolism and more flexibility in those inner muscles. Good. Let's come back up into our tabletop pose, and then we're gonna just keep walking your hands forward, kind of come into puppy pose. So think downward facing dog with knees on the ground. Now, puppy pose can be a couple different modifications here. You can have your forehead on the ground, or if you're feeling really flexible in your upper back, you're going to let your chest come down. Let your chin come down. Pay attention to your shoulders. Pay attention to your upper back. Feel like you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. You can even hold on to your mat for a little bit of traction. Breathing your ujjayi breath. This is a really intense pose, guys, so take it easy on yourselves. Still feel your belly muscles nice and taut. And then from here, we're going to just slide onto our bellies. Whew. It's never an easy transition, but you can do it. Okay, so we'll start off with our elbows on the ground, right underneath of our shoulders, palms down, and we're just gonna come into our Sphinx pose. So stay here, pull the heart forward. So this is a really nice pose to kind of play with your back flexibility. So where are you bending here? So we can feel this a couple ways. So I want you to squeeze your glutes and lift up and feel yourself bending through this lower part of your back. Then I want you to release your glutes, pull your heart forward and up. So you're kind of like rounding the upper part of the back. So imagine that there's a rope pulling your chest forward and up. Good. And that's the thoracic spine. That's the upper back, upper and mid back that we want to create some flexibility with here. Now, you can start to press into your hands and lift yourself up a little bit higher if you want. Pull the chest forward and up. You can start to contract your gluteal muscles here. Maybe even walk your hands back a little bit more. And then we're just going to kind of waterfall down. Let the head come down last. And then inhale, roll yourself up. Try to kind of articulate through the spine here. Come down, and then up, and then down, and up. Nice. One more time, coming down. Beautiful. Take the hands back underneath the shoulders, and we're gonna press up and press back into child's pose. So we're gonna use child's pose to kind of counteract all of these back bends. This is a really great place to land and rest. So if you need to be here more tonight, be here in child's pose. This is a really nice place to rest, and arms can always be out in front of you for active child's pose or down by your sides for resting child's pose. Your choice. Listen to your body. Take breaks whenever you need it. And remember, when you're in your child's pose, make it comfortable for you. Lift your butt up if you need to by placing blankets or rolled up blankets or pillows underneath of your butt here, whatever feels good to you. And then we're gonna come back up and come back into our tabletop pose. From here, let's take our right foot and just bring it forward. So we're gonna bring this foot forward to the middle of the mat. Back knee is on the ground, back toes are pointed. Now, if your knee is, again, cranky, put something underneath of your knee because we're gonna be here for a little while in this pose. In fact, if you wanna take some books or your blocks and place them around your front foot, that's a good idea too. Just gives you a little bit of stability. There's a lot of different layers to each yoga pose. So every yoga, like this yoga pose, for instance, has the aspect of balance, and it also has the aspect of strengthening and the aspect of flexibility. So I want us to focus on flexibility here, not so much the strengthening or the balance portion. We really want to just build flexibility, so I just want to have some stability here so we can just focus on one thing. So I'm going to put my blocks a little bit closer to my back, and I'm going to pull my belly forward, pull my belly button towards my spine, and I'm going to squeeze as I lift my heart up toward the sky. So here I want you to kind of tuck your tailbone. That's going to make you feel a little bit more of a contraction in the front of the left hip. We're just going to breathe here for a minute. So keep pulling your chest up. And so this is only the first part of what we're going to do in this pose. We're actually going to do two more things in this pose. So I'm going to be here for a little bit. So get used to it. Start to enjoy it. Your head can be facing forward or looking up toward the sky, whatever feels best to you. But right now we're just focusing on that mid-back between your shoulders. So shoulder blades come together and lift up. Good, now I want you to pull up and back. We're gonna stretch the right hamstring here. Hips are gonna come back. Taking a little break. Oh, you can feel the blood rushing back to that front of your left thigh here. That feels good. Okay, now we're going to take our left elbow and bring it to the outside of the right knee for a twist. Palms are going to come together, and we're going to look up past the right shoulder. Hands at heart. So if you feel, oops, don't fall over like I just did. If you feel like your hands are pointing to your right armpit, just untwist a little bit and back up. I want to keep your hips still as you're twisting from, you guessed it, the navel up. You guys are going to get used to hearing me say that. So I want your hands at heart center. Gaze up past the right arm. Good, and then come back to center. And then we're just going to press back into our half Hanumanasana. All right. So this is the really fun one. This is the one that people love. So we're gonna come down a little bit lower and bend the back knee. Now this might be all that you have, just bend the back knee. Your hands can come to the inside of the right leg. We can kind of do this kind of like a lizard pose. It doesn't matter where your hands are as long as you're bending this back knee. So I want you to get a nice stretch through the front of your left quadricep. So you can reach back and grab onto this left foot. Pull it towards your butt. If that doesn't work and you want to take a strap, pull it around that left foot. You can sling it over the shoulder. You can reach back and grab it. Or if you've got a wall behind you and you just want to place this leg up against the wall or place the foot up against the wall, you can do that as well. So lots of different options here. And if you can't grab that back foot very easily, don't be hard on yourself. This takes a lot of flexibility and a lot of practice. So it takes time. How you guys feeling? Good, ready to scream yet? My husband's doing this practice right now in another room, so if I hear screaming, then I'll know that I should stop this particular pose. But I don't hear any screaming yet. Just breathing. Good. And then let's go ahead, release, come back into your half Hanuman. Ah, feels good. Okay, so let's bring this right leg back. And then we're just gonna do the same thing on the left side. Bring that left foot forward, set yourself up in a really nice low lunge here. Adjust clothing as needed and bring your hands to your blocks. So I like to have my hands on my blocks because I feel like if my arms are back here, then I can bring my shoulders back. But if my hands are here, it's harder for me to get my shoulders back. So I like to kind of be more upright here. So remember, we're just focusing on flexibility here in this pose. We're not focusing on strength building or balance, just flexibility. So use something to prop yourself up. Pull the heart up, pull the belly in, squeeze the glutes, tuck the tailbone under. Good. And just breathe. So what are you guys watching on TV these days? There's like nothing on. A lot of people like that show Bridgerton. I was not into it. Let me know in the comments. We can help each other by suggesting things to watch. We watched Goodfellas the other night. So we're going way back. I think Godfather's coming up soon. But this whole pandemic, it's killing me. It's killing me. We need more TV. How you guys feeling? Shoulders feeling good? All right, press back, coming into your half Hanuman. All right, we'll start to walk back into our lunge. And this time, we're going to do some spinal flexibility here. Twisting flexibility here. Take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee and bring the palms together in front of the heart. So notice how I was saying before, if your hands keep coming up to your armpit center, I want you to press up a little bit away from this bottom, away from this leg. So you're kind of coming out of the twist a little bit here. I don't want you to push yourself deeper into the twist. I want you to back off a little so you've got a little bit more space. And then look up past the shoulder and breathe. And notice where your mind goes when you are sitting here in this pose in stillness in a difficult posture for a little while, the mind starts to distract you. You start to get angry, annoyed, frustrated, maybe all three. And then come back to center. Half Hanuman. Ooh. Pull those left toes up and back. When you're coming into your Hanuman, squeeze the front of your leg muscles, and that's going to help you with your leg, the hamstring flexibility. So this is me not using any of my quadricep or shin muscles here. Now watch as I start to engage them. I start to get my leg a little bit straighter here. So you can kind of come into this a little bit deeper by by contracting the front of the leg muscles to open up the back of the leg muscles. Good, all right, so coming back, last part of this pose, we're gonna take our hands maybe to the inside of this left foot, bend the right knee, and we're gonna start to stretch through this this right quadricep. So you can grab the right foot, you can grab it with your left hand, you can grab it with your right hand. I'm actually gonna, it's easier for me to grab it with my left hand because I'm looking at you guys, but I am gonna twist the other way and grab it with my right hand. So whatever one is more comfortable, I just want you to feel that stretch. Put it up against the wall, you can grab your strap, loop it around that foot. If you need to come out all the way and set yourself up, go ahead and do that. I know it's not easy to kind of lasso that foot up, but you know, just do what it takes. You need the foot here, that's fine. How are those hips? How are the thighs? Great, go ahead and release. We're gonna come back into our half Hanuman. Ooh. All right, take this left leg back, and we're gonna come back into child's pose. Reach the arms forward or back by your sides if that feels better to you. Nice. I want you to slide forward onto your belly. Now I'm going to face you guys. So legs are going to be straight out behind you, and you're going to take your right arm and reach it out to the side. So you're going to lie down on that right arm, and you're going to take your left hand, place it on the ground, and take your left leg up and back. So this is a really nice stretch for the front of your right shoulder. And there's lots of variations here. You can try to reach now I've got some shoulder issues, so I'm not gonna do that tonight. You can try to reach the left foot, the foot that's in the back, towards the right hand, but keep this right hand at shoulder height. Don't bring it down to reach the foot, bring the foot up to reach the hand. Or you can maybe bring both hands back towards each other. Or you can just keep this left hand on the ground. And then we're gonna roll back nice and slowly. All right, left arm is gonna come out, right hand is gonna press into the ground, right foot is gonna come up and back, right foot on the ground. So now we're going to find what option you want to take here. So you can keep the right hand on the ground. You can bring it back behind you. You can try to grab the right foot with your left hand. Or you can just keep the right hand on the ground, pressing away from the right side. Just let your neck relax. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then let's start to keep our way back. And then press up onto our knees. All right, great. We're coming into camel. So camel's a pretty intense back bend. I want you to set up with your blocks or your books right next to your feet. Now I'm just going to show you. Toes can be pointed, or for less intensity of the pose, your feet can be toes on the ground tucked under. All right, so here we're going to start by taking our thumbs and hooking them underneath of our shoulder blades. So remember before when we were in that lunge and we had our shoulders back and we were just bending through the upper back? This is where I want you to focus your bend here. So pull the chest up. You can start by looking forward, and we're going to, if the hands are comfortable here, maybe bring them down to, there it is, to your blocks. Now notice how my belly is pulling forward, my hips are pulling forward, and only my chest is lifting up and back. So if you start to feel like you're coming back here like that, we don't want that. We want to keep everything in line, like you're pressed up against a wall. So if this feels comfortable, and you want to try maybe grabbing for your heels, you can grab for your heels. So I want you to turn your knuckles to face the wall behind you. You don't want to have your knuckles facing out or facing towards each other. They're facing behind you. Now, if that's comfortable, and you want to point your toes, pull your hips up and forward. And at this point, if you're here, if you feel like your knees are coming out wide, you want your knees about hip-width distance apart, then maybe drop your head back. But only when you're here, grabbing the feet with the toes pointed. Breathe deep through the nose. Inhale and exhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, pull the heart up. Good. And then we're going to start to come up with the head, with the hands, and then start to come up nice and slowly. Back is straight for a moment. Ooh, that's intense, right? All right, and then we're going to come down onto our butts, and then child's pose. It's the best child's pose ever. I feel like child's pose after camel is always the most amazing feeling. All right. So coming back up and onto our hands and knees, we're going to tuck our toes under and then press up and back, downward facing dog. Just hang out here for a second. Knees can be bent, heels can be up. Remember, I want your back nice and straight, so one long line from your hands all the way up to your hips. And if that means that you are bending your knees, bend your knees a lot. You can even bend your knees like this. Try not to round your back like this. Good. Come back down onto your hands and knees. Move anything out of the way. And then we're going to come into our bow pose. So we're going to lie down onto the mat and bend your knees, point them up toward the ceiling. Now, if you cannot reach back and grab your feet, I want you to just do this one leg at a time. So you're gonna bend the leg, you're gonna take your strap and lasso it around your foot. So take as much time as you need to lasso that foot. And once you're here, your opposite arm is gonna be parallel to the front of your mat. And you're just going to reach your hand back until you're back as far as you can get. And this is going to be your bow. All right, so now for those of you who are gonna reach both feet at the same time, bend your knees, grab onto the feet. You're grabbing the outsides of the feet here. And as you lift up, I want you to feel like you're lifting your knees and lifting your chest. Pull your heart forward and breathe. Point your toes, or you can flex your feet, whatever feels most comfortable to you. How you guys doing? Good, and then bring it down. And we're just going to bring our hands underneath of our face, one side of our, or one cheek on the mat. Bend your knees and just windshield wiper them side to side. All right. So here we go. We're going to come into our locust pose. So locust pose, let's actually do it. We're going to do full locust. So I'm going to have you just bring your hands down by your side, palms facing down, point your toes, and then you're going to keep your hands pressing into the ground as you lift your upper body. Pull your heart forward. And then come down. Now you're going to lift your legs. Straighten your legs. Keep them straight so you're not bending your knees. Straighten your legs. Press your forehead into the ground. Squeeze your glutes. And then release. Okay, so we're going to combine them. Hands are going to come up off of the ground. Feet are going to lift. Keep your chin tucked into your chest. Ready? Here we go. And lift. Pull the heart forward. I know it's weird to keep the chin tucked to the chest, but trust me, this is where I want your focus to be right now. And come back down. Nice. All right. We're going to do one more version of locust pose, which is kind of a little bit more intense. So I want you to roll onto your side and take both of your hands and make a fist, but tuck your thumbs into your fist. I want you to squeeze your arms underneath of you, and we're going to roll onto your arms. So you're lying on your arms are hidden underneath of you. You're going to push your chin or your forehead down into the mat. Try not to overextend your elbows here, and you're going to lift your legs. And bring them down. Good. Whew. Take your arms out and windshield wiper your legs side to side. Nice. Okay, let's press back into child's pose. We'll come up and then lie on your back. So we're going to come into our bridge pose. So take a minute here to just set yourself up, bringing your feet as close to your buttocks as possible. Shoulders are going to come underneath of you. Press into your heels. Now, there's two things that you can do with your hands. You can press your hands into the ground, or you can bend your elbows like Barbie arms and use your your elbows to press into the ground as you lift your hips up. Keep your gaze straight up toward the ceiling. Now, once you're here, if you want to take your hands underneath of you, clasping your hands together, go ahead and do that. Pull the belly in. Keep the knees from splaying out. And you don't want your feet out wider than your knees. Your shins should be parallel to one another. And you're pressing into your heels. Good. And then we're going to release the shoulders and come all the way down. We'll do that 2 more times. So set yourself up however you want to get up. And this is bridge number 2. Now, if you want to take this and make it a restorative bridge, and you have a block, take the block and set it up underneath of your tailbone. It feels really, really nice. If you don't have a block, but you can get your hands underneath of your lower back, then you can set yourself up in a supported bridge pose here. Good, and wherever you are, come on down. Whew, okay. Now this time we're going to do 1 more bridge, however you like it, or you can come into wheel pose. So if you're coming into wheel pose, back your feet up as close as you can to you. Get your hair out of the way so you don't pull on it when you come up. I always do that. And you're going to take your hands and press them down so fingers are facing your feet. And you're going to press up onto the crown of your head for a second. Get yourself set, and then you're pressing yourself up. Make sure you breathe. My shoulder is not agreeing with me, so I'm going to come down. Whenever you're ready, come down shoulders and roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. Nice, nice, nice. Whew. All right, so we're going to rock side to side. Come back to center, and then we're going to rock front to back until we come up into a seat. And then you have crazy hair like that when you come up from your bridge pose. Okay, so you're coming into some forward folds to kind of even out the energy from the back bends. So let's take the feet out in front of us. We're going to do Paschimottanasana, which is our seated forward bend. If this is hard for you, I know a lot of us, if you have tight hamstrings and tight hips, can't even straighten your legs here. That's okay. You're going to sit on a block or sit on a pillow, and that is going to help you to get a little bit more leverage here and a flat back. So really importantly, guys, I do not want your back rounding so you can reach for your toes. I don't care if you can reach your toes. There's no prizes down there. I just want you to hinge at your hips. Okay, so find whatever works for you. And if you need your strap to bring it down to your feet, bring your strap down to your feet and you're reaching forward. So I don't want you to pull back, to pull yourself forward with the strap. It actually puts a lot of negative pressure on your back and you don't want. I just want you to walk your hands forward, and we're going to squeeze the thigh muscles, the front thigh muscles, the shin muscles, the fronts of the legs, and your abs to pull yourself closer towards your feet. And if you're just grabbing onto your feet, grab onto your feet. And same thing. You're not pulling yourself forward using your feet. You're using your abdominal muscles and the muscles of the fronts of the body to pull yourself forward. You're looking at your ankles or your toes. You want your forehead to come towards your shins. Keep breathing. And we'll come on. Okay, one more forward bend, guys. We're going to take our legs out wide. Foot got caught in the strap over here. Okay, so feet are out wide. Hands can be behind your hips if you want, and this gives you some leverage to just kind of keep yourself upright. Back is straight. Same thing, same way it was in your seated forward fold. So we're gonna hinge forward here. Now, start to hinge forward until you feel that catch in your inner thighs. And then we're just gonna move side to side right there. And that's just gonna open up those muscles a little bit more. Good. One more time. And then point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. One more time, point and flex. Good. Now, give them a little shake and maybe fold a little bit deeper. Walk your hands forward, point your toes up toward the sky. Even feel like you're sticking your butt out behind you. Try not to drop your head. That kind of promotes a rounding of the back. Keep the chest lifted. And you can just stare at me. We just stare awkwardly at each other. That's always fun, right? Well, I can't tell if you're staring at me, but I can look right at you. Could be the chin. But yeah, so forward or back bends are very energizing, and forward folds are very calming. So I like to even out all of the excess energy that we build up with our back bends by doing some forward bending in the end of class. And start to come up. Bring your legs together, give them a little shake. And now we're going to roll onto our backs. So bend your knees, hug them into your chest, and roll onto your back. Give yourself a nice squeeze. And I'm really close to the wall, so I'm not going to do that there. Okay, so then we're going to take our legs, bring them over to the right, take our arms out to a T, and come into a nice twist. And you can take your right hand and bring it to the outside of your left thigh to give yourself a little adjust, kind of pull yourself, give yourself a little traction, pulling your knees toward the floor. Now, your left shoulder blade is not going, it may not touch the floor. Mine is not touching the floor, and that's okay. I don't want it to touch the floor if it's not there yet. You're twisting from your spine, from your navel up. I know you guys are gonna get tired of hearing me say that, but it's so, so, so important. So those of you who've ever done a chair twist, and your teacher says to you, keep your knees together, this is a chair twist. We're just lying on the ground. So keep your knees together. Chair twist would be just like this. And then we're going to start to roll back onto our back, hug your knees into your chest, and then drop them over to the left, arms out to a T, and you look over your right shoulder now. You can take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, just give it a little pressure down and forward, pushing into the twist a little bit here. Keep the knees together. And then we're going to come back onto our backs. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Bring the soles of the feet together and drop the knees out wide as we come into our Baddha Konasana, our bound ankle pose. Arms down by your sides and just relax. Notice how your hips feel, notice how your back feels as we just enter this last pose before Shavasana. Start to just once again come out of your mind and into your body and start to feel all of the sensations. Feel the skin touching your clothes. Feel the air touching your exposed skin. Feel the floor underneath of you. The taste in your mouth. The smell, the temperature of the air coming in and out of your nose. Notice any of the sounds around you, just keeping you connected to the present moment so you don't drift off. Now from here, you're just going to flex your feet like Charlie Chaplin feet, keeping your heels pressed together, and then press your feet all the way down to the bottom of your mat, straightening your legs. And we'll start to make ourselves comfortable into Shavasana. So go ahead and find any position that's comfortable for you. And if you needed to do one more pose before class is over, go ahead and do that so that your practice is complete. Just whatever feels good to you. And then you want to cover yourself up, use a pillow, use a blanket, whatever it is that makes your Shavasana yours. I'm going to give you guys a few moments here in quiet. And I don't want you to think that the quiet has meant that the video dropped or that I've forgotten about you. Just know that I will take you out of your Shavasana in just a few moments. So you guys lie there and I will sit and be here as your gentle alarm to come back. Close your eyes. Start to feel your tongue resting in the roof of your mouth. Feel your eyes heavy in your eye sockets. Feel the floor supporting you. Take the first few breaths to get comfortable, and then find your quiet and stillness. Start to bring awareness back into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. And then move your wrists, your ankles, your shoulders, elbows, knees. Hug them into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze gently. And on your next exhale, roll onto your right side into a fetal pose. Letting your head rest on your right arm. Let your left arm drape in front of your body. Give yourself a moment here to just reconnect with your surroundings, reconnect with the present, and come back to life. And whenever you're ready, press your left hand into the ground to push you back up to a comfortable seated position on your mat. And I invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart and bow your head in a gesture to remind us of the connection between mind and body. Please go from here tonight with peace and inner strength. I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. I honor the place in you of love, of light, of peace, of truth. When you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me tonight. So guys, announcements. I'm adding a new class to the schedule starting next week. I think it's February 2nd, next Monday. I will have an intermediate yoga from 5:30 to 6:30. And we'll be keeping this beginner yoga from 7 to 8. And then I am going to see how that goes and then maybe add a meditation, maybe 15-minute meditation afterwards. I haven't quite set the meditation yet, but we definitely will have the 2 yoga classes starting next Monday. 5:30 intermediate yoga. For that class, you are required to already know how to do a vinyasa and to do the basic poses. So we are going to be able to advance our asana a little bit in there. And then the beginner class, we are still going to do our beginner flow and basically learn all of the poses and modifications. So I hope you guys can join me for either one of those 2 classes. And please make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. So the more subscribers I get, the easier it is for me to offer you guys more free classes. So make sure, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you thought, let me know what you're looking for the next class. And I will see you next Monday. Thanks, guys.